Oh!
Hey!
I see. Okay.
How you
Hold on.
doing?
Let's set this up properly. Okay. Hello, people. I am JABY KOAY. We got Chuck KOAY and Achara and BISWAPATI, the writer of Permanent Roommates and TVF Pictures, and I'm sure other awesome things. How are you, sir?
I'm very good. Thank you for having me. It feels quite weird to see you guys like on this. Like I feel I'm watching my own reaction video.
Oh, yeah.
Same setup, so that's a little funny. But
Your show is amazing.
We just finished episode 4 of TVF Pictures,
Okay.
and that was a fucking powerful monologue, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
I literally had goosebumps when I was watching that. I was like, oh, that was incredible. You're very good at writing monologues, like very moving and powerful monologues.
I think you're good at just writing.
He's like, whatever. I don't
He's
know.
like, whatever, I don't know. I just write.
I mean, you just write really good stuff.
Thank you so much. I mean, I've never really thought that a lot of people who don't belong to the native Indian culture can probably get a lot of things, but it's surprising and it's really amazing to see you guys. I saw all the reactions of Permanent Roommates and I revisited the entire show. I'm missing Hope right now.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Her problems with Vikesh. But yeah, it was really fun to see you guys react, and I revisited both of the shows. I think you released Pictures episode 1 last night,
Yeah.
and the reaction as well. And I've been following you for quite some time. I think I saw a few reaction videos for Bollywood creators, and I've seen a lot of your stuff before you started reacting on TVF stuff. So yeah, I've been an early subscriber.
Well, dude, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm a huge fan of your writing style. Like in season 2, the wedding planner.
Yeah.
That monologue, was that just you? Is that you by yourself, or do you have like editors who come in and like change it up?
I mean, we jam together as a creative team, but the physical process of writing is something which I do alone. But then, yeah, of course, I think the second half of Permanent Roommates, we had a lot of people coming together and working. But I think the first season of Permanent Roommates and Pictures was just me jamming with the directors of the two shows. So yeah, it's just a team of 2-3 people usually, not more than that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, whatever you guys did on that monologue for the wedding planner, and then Tanya's response to the wedding planner, it was just like, it was amazing. That it was the perfect wording. Obviously, Chuck hasn't seen it.
I haven't seen it yet, and they're gonna ruin it for me. Don't ruin it for me, please. Don't. I'm gonna watch it now. Please don't ruin it for me.
But we're loving TVF Pictures so far.
Yeah,
It's
great.
TVF Pictures, as a member of the tech community that owns a startup, you killed it. You killed it. I mean, when you said you're selling yourself, as a person of color, we're constantly selling ourselves to get money, funding, or people just to believe in what we're making. And I think that monologue was like, that's all of us. Every person of color, no matter where they are, in a crowd of so many white men, we are always selling ourselves. You nail it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have one important question. What do I have to do to get into one of your shows, man? Like, I love your writing.
Me too. I want to get there too.
You in mind when next time I'm trying to write a character, like if somebody is based out of abroad, I'll keep in mind.
Dude.
And, yeah, so
That would be
I
awesome.
hope I write you in one of our shows, but yeah, that'll be great.
Even if I'm like the dude who goes, he went that way. I don't give it.
Just put JABY as a cameo.
Yes. It's so awesome.
I really hope so. We can get to even so. I've seen your. I've also seen your short film, the one with the Star Wars one.
What? You watched that?
Yeah, I've seen it, and I think that was pretty amazing. The action was pretty good, and I really enjoyed it. That short. So I'll check out the rest of the short films. I know there is a playlist, and I'll check out the other stuff. But yeah, I've seen a few of his videos. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. I really appreciate that. So, are you a fan of Bruce Lee?
Okay, so if you go to my Facebook, picture is so my laptop skin is basically Bruce Lee.
What?
So yes, I'm a huge fan of Bruce Lee.
So we were right then. The beer monologue was totally ripped from the water monologue.
Okay, so that's something which I say right now is a lot of when a lot of people have asked me the same question, and I say yes, it was inspired from the Bruce Lee monologue. but actually that's not the truth. So I don't know, subconsciously maybe it just seeped in. So when we were breaking down the scene, so we needed something. So the idea came in that probably something which Bhati explains to Naveen would use the same trick on GT.
Hmm.
And because the setting was a coffee shop, so we thought what if coffee spills
Right.
on the phone, that will be a good end. So we reworked that way, and then we thought, okay, so what if we do something with beer? But I don't know, subconsciously maybe the water thing stayed with me, but I don't think there was a deliberate intent of that. But yeah, when people ask me right now, I
Okay.
say yes, it was Bruce Lee, and
Okay.
I was inspired
It was
by
so
Bruce Lee.
good.
It had to be in the subconscious, man, because it felt like almost word for word. It felt like the same thing.
Yes.
But I'm loving it. I love what you did there
Yeah.
because that's felt modernized.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and even if it is inspired from Bruce Lee, I don't mind. I don't mind. I'm a big fan, so I would rather say it's a tribute to him than say it was something original. So I prefer saying that it's a homage to Bruce Lee. That way, I'm fine.
Did you see the new Bruce Lee trailer?
No, I haven't.
Oh, yeah.
It looks awful, man.
Don't get me started.
It's called Birth of the Dragon.
Ooh.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, don't. You know what? Do yourself a favor.
Now, the trailer looks bad. The scenes with Bruce Lee and the monk are like kind of cool.
All right. So I gave a heads up to some of the fans that we were going to talk to you, and I
Okay.
said, "What are your questions for First off, what's the proper way to say your name?"
So you can just call me Bisso. A lot of people, so it saves I think 6 seconds from everybody's voice if they say Bisso instead of Biswapati. So just call me Bisso. So that's Bisso.
Biso. Okay.
So, yeah.
Biso.
Okay.
Okay. So is there any good fan questions?
Well, I've actually been talking to one of the fans of your show. His name is Abhishek Mahanti. Anyway, he said that so he feels that your show really targets the kind of the younger generation, 25 to 35. It's very different from what's on television in India right now, which is he feels is kind of more geared towards housewives and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So, I mean, I think it's amazing, and I can totally relate because I grew up in Thailand, and the type of TV shows that we have are very melodramatic soap operas that my mom loves watching, and I'm like, Mom, this would not happen in real life. This is ridiculous. Why are you watching this? But I feel that your characters and your storylines are all very real and very relatable. So, maybe you can talk a bit about that. Does being a web series kind of lend itself to that more?
To be honest, I think there are two kinds of films or TV shows, in India. One is very plastic, sort of commercial sort of characters where you don't really like larger than life and you don't really relate to those characters, and the other is very gritty and real and about crime and so I think there's a huge spectrum in between those two extremes, and I think something which all of us can relate to as youngsters. I think while growing up, we used to see a lot of shows as kids, which was the early television, which was good. But then something happened in post 2000, the entire TV scenario in India changed, and uh, I think there is an entire Indian generation which has stopped watching Indian fictional content altogether. So I think that is the reason why something like TVF became popular, because there's something people could connect to, and everybody was like, yeah, of course, yeah, this is. I know people like this, and I have friends who behave like this, or I would personally behave like this. So I think that's the reason why it caught on. The idea is, of course, to explore our times and our lives and our generation stories and tell stories of things that will work or that people say will work. So it's just exploring those our lives in detail. So that's the aim of doing these shows.
Who's your biggest inspiration for writing? Because it's one of the things I notice is that each of your characters has a unique voice. They all sound different, and I think that's the most challenging thing to do as a writer, is to give everyone an individual personality, and somehow you manage to do that every time. Like, who's your biggest inspiration?
It will be difficult to pick one name, but yeah, I think David Mamet is something.
I called it.
Yes,
I called
yes.
it earlier.
Except you
Yes.
couldn't remember his name.
I couldn't remember his name, but I always said the writer of Glengarry Glen Ross.
Yeah.
Okay. David Mavericks, of course, there is Sorkin, there is Tarantino.
That's what I said too. I said Sorkin.
He initially said Sorkin,
Yeah.
and I was like, well, Sorkin's very snappy, and you linger more.
So these are the people I look up to, and of course, there are a few Indian writers as well. There's someone called Gulzar. There used to be a director called Rishikesh Mukherjee. So these guys have a strong impact on the kind of writing that I do. But of course, it's a culmination of everyone, and so I'm not even like 0.10001% of anybody. But yeah, the idea is to learn from them continuously and do something new every day.
I love it, man. It's inspiring me. It's inspiring me to like really like clean up my writing and make it even better.
I think it's really solid. Like I watched Entourage and I'm watching Silicon Valley, and what you've done is marry both of them and write it better.
Yeah, actually, that was the idea. That was. I think the creator of the show, Arunab Kumar, who had the initial storyline about the characters and mine. He's also the CEO of TVF, by the way. So his idea was the entourage of entrepreneurship, and somehow I felt like I've never really enjoyed entourage personally because it feels a little shallow. To me. I don't know.
It feels
But
what? It feels what?
it feels shallow.
That's
It
what I
feels
said. It does feel shallow.
It does.
Yeah,
it
it
is.
is.
and but I've enjoyed a lot of like West Wing was another influence. I think was yeah. So that is the director of the show, Amit Gulani. He's a huge fan of Sorkin, and so a lot of I learned from Amit actually via Sorkin. So Sorkin came via Amit to me. So yeah, so his ideas of how to somehow play the scenes really helped while doing pitches.
Yeah. You got another fan question?
So, as TVF's popularity is growing, if there is an offer for a TV serial possible, and would you be willing to take this opportunity if it was presented to you?
Yeah, so a lot of people don't know that we've done a TV show. We've already done, and nobody saw it. Nobody saw it. So we've done like 10 episodes of a show on it. I don't think it's even on YouTube right now, but nobody saw it. And because the networks get into your way and they dictate terms, and so it's made. So the director of that show was the director of Permanent Roommates.
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
yeah, so and both of us gave probably one of the biggest disaster of our lives in the form of that show, and nobody saw it. So it was supposed to be sort of a political satire relevant to the youth, and so like words like say Western civilization would be censored. So
Wow.
I don't know why they do that, but so that was another experience working with a network, and that's when we realized that there's no way Indian TV is going to do something good at least in the next few years. So you better make stuff and put it online.
Yeah,
you,
so
they're
just
not ready for you.
tvfplay.com is the only place to go to
Yeah.
get good television right now.
Wow. I was definitely thinking you should do a show about the UN, like the West Wing. Like that would be a great show.
Oh, I have a
Yeah.
question from one of our fans about the casting of the actors. They're all very good, and I remember one fan also asked how you guys cast Mikesh on Permanent Roommates because he was virtually unknown, wasn't he, before he came on the show?
I think he played a lot of character roles in a lot of films. He had a popular TV show early on, but I think his shot to fame, I wouldn't claim his shot to fame, but something which made him really popular was Permanent Roommate. So he used to do a lot of theater, and Nidhi Bisht, who plays Ritu, so Tanya's friend in the first season, she is also a casting director. So she spotted him in a play, and they became friends. And then while auditioning, so we auditioned like three people for Mikesh, and somehow Sumit, we saw Sumit, and we were like, yeah, this is the guy, and this is what we need. And he was even performing. So whatever I've written, so I think that's in collaboration with Sumit as well because he understands the character a lot. And Mikesh is because I think that's the part of me. I feel like that at times. So and Sumit could get that, and somehow even on set we would sit down and discuss, and he would come up with his own line. So like cool sort of became a catchphrase of Mikesh. Like oh, this so
Nice.
Sumit did that was not written in, and Sumit just improvised that on the second day of shoot, and we were like yeah, and people started saying that this cool. I remember cool Mikesh saying cool, and then it sort of became a catchphrase. So you started
So I have a follow-up question to that. How often do the actors end up changing your dialogue, and how precious is your dialogue to you?
Um, a lot of times I've worked on a lot of scenes very hard, so I meticulously I know the beat of the scene, and I know the lines, and I've trimmed down words because a lot of times, like the monologues you saying, I've probably spent I think around 30, 40 hours after I've written the complete thing just to get it right word by word. So like 4 or 5 days just to get it right. And the actor who was doing the monologue, Naveen, he got the monologue one day before shoot because I was so into the monologue and I wanted it right word by word. But then when you worked on a scene a lot and then an actor tries to change it, so and that's why you should be on set. And that's why you tell an actor, no, please don't do that. So what is really precious to me. So if you can just say that. So a lot of actors, it's a very collaborative process. So most of our actors are very friendly, but there are times when you know that a scene probably isn't that well written, and you could probably have given it more time. And then when the improvisation happens, I think that's fine. But otherwise, when it's following a certain rhythm, you would like to keep it that way. And really at times hurts you when a few precious words are taken out when somebody is improvising. That really hurts you.
Well, I just got one question to that. So when they fuck up your dialogue that you've crafted,
They usually don't. They usually don't. But yeah, okay.
let's assume that they have like so you approach it in a very humble way. You're not like a dick about it. You're not like, look, just say the words I wrote down. It's perfect, okay?
That's what David Mamet says in his book.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like, say the words that I wrote. That is your job as an actor. Say the words.
I don't think I'm that confident yet at the writing.
Dude, you should be.
I can't put my feet down because I really respect the guys that we're working with, and I think they come up with a lot of valuable solutions. So a lot of good dialogue that you see has been improvised as well on set, and I've been there, and that's a fun process too. But there are a few scenes that you really are very close to you, and there are a few chunks of dialogue or parts of scene that you really want to be as it is written. And a lot of times I feel that the worst thing is probably a scene being better on paper than it is on screen. So that really hurts you. That really I don't know that really that it really hurts you basically.
Yeah. No, I feel you, man. I feel you. I know what that feeling is.
Yeah.
What was your question, man?
I was thinking about your dialogue, your drop mic moment, like you just dropped the mic, the Bechdel test.
Oh,
You
yeah.
had the
Oh,
two women
yeah.
talking about the
dude, that's a good-
Bechdel
that's a good question.
test,
So-
and it's like a mic dropping.
Okay,
like
okay.
they passed
That's a
it
good question.
in that one scene.
So has TVF been hit with that a lot? Like not enough passing the Bechdel test because it's
No, no, that's something which I read and I thought like I was somebody told me about this when we were writing pictures and I realized okay we don't really clear the vehicle. And then when we were writing this small scene and I said, what if these two girls are talking about the Bechdel test? So eventually clear the Bechdel test by using the Bechdel test.
Yes, that's so
Yeah.
amazing.
yeah.
That was
Yeah.
a really good joke.
Yes.
And thank you that you noticed. I don't think a lot of people notice that. I think that's a very minute observation that you guys have made. But I don't think a lot of people made that observation. They didn't notice it.
What made it really good was like even after you dropped the mic on it, that they continued to be in the scene, and they were very powerful women. Like they were stern. Like, no, we're not signing that. They were the one. They were the group to say no.
Yeah.
Easily
no.
say no. Like hell no.
Oh, I have a question that was asked by some fans. Is there any specific character or characters that you most relate to that you've written?
I think the characters which are not like me are the ones that I love. Like Leo from Permanent Witnesses is a fun character. Right? So you can just go crazy with them.
Which one? Which one?
Leo.
Oh, Leo. Do you relate to Leo?
No, he said he doesn't
Yeah,
relate to
Oh,
Leo.
he doesn't relate. You don't relate to Leo.
He's fun.
Yeah.
It's just fun writing those characters. And like Rastogi from Pictures, the entrepreneur they meet in the event, I think he's also in the finale and he has an important role in the finale. But so it's fun writing those or Chacha from Pictures. So basically, just the old guy who sits like this, and so that was again improvised on set. So there was this actor who was we just thought of him. So we just wrote the pilot and we thought, why don't we increase his role? And then he came back in the fourth episode. So it's just fun writing those parts because those are something weird and totally not real, so to say, and you can have fun with them.
So the was the director of the show in the first episode the CEO?
The director, so the creator of the show, Arunav Kumar, is basically Yogi. So the guy who plays Yogi is Arunav, is also CEO of TVF. And yeah, and I'll tell you. So if you remember Permanent Roommates episode 5 of season 1, so
Okay.
where Tanya is on her knees proposing to me, the end of where Mikesh leaves. So the guy who plays the landlord, uh, so in the finale, the season 1 finale, the guy who plays the new landlord, the guy with the brown jacket, he's the director of Pictures, and the guy you will meet in the finale of season 1 of Pictures is the director of Permanent Roommates.
Oh wow.
Oh, cool.
That's funny. Well, we haven't gotten to the finale yet. After we wrap up this interview, we're gonna do the finale.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, another question that I had from a fan was, he said, you guys are all very well educated. Why did you choose to pursue film? Why film as a medium?
I think while studying, we realized that this is the only thing we should do. To be honest, like you can of course go get a job and make a living, but I think we were all very keen on making stuff, on creating content, be it online or films or TV. But we really wanted to go out and make stuff and make, like I was saying, which is relevant for our generation, which is something which we believed wasn't there earlier. And one after the other, I think through YouTube and then TV Play and all of these things, people started coming in and we started having a lot of followers. And like we started from an office where 5 people work to an office where I think close to 100 people work right now. So that is a fascinating transition. And in the last, I think most of this happened in the last 4 years. I think
That's quick.
so. Yeah, so that is something which I'm really. I at times I doubt myself that am I a fluke or are these things happening just is it just luck? But then that's why you need to sit in front of the computer and just work and make sure that you are not a fluke and you have a career. You make a career out of this. So yeah, I think that's something like being grounded and because you are from those small families where you're taught to be humble. They beat you. You're not humble. So that's where the learning really helps, and you find out that you can lose all of this anytime, and probably you'll have to go back to that smaller office someday if things don't go well. But we'll still keep making stuff. So that's probably the attitude which we want to set our life.
Cool.
Well, I kind of feel like watching Pictures, even though it is about the tech world and startups, I feel like there's correlations between what you guys are doing and,
Yeah.
Even just being a creative person and just having the confidence, I guess, to just fail and to just go for your dreams and
Yeah.
just try. Why not?
A lot of in Pictures is anecdotal as well. So a lot of the anecdotes have a few of the things we felt similar things while we were on that journey. And initially there were like 4, 5, and 6, 7 of us, and that's when we really felt the importance of probably mixing personal and professional lives, where your colleagues are your best friends and somehow, and that's still my circle. So the people I work with are the people I hang out with because it's such an incredible part of your lives. I think they become one and the same. So they are my family.
Yeah.
Those are the guys I live with right now mostly.
Cool. I'm good on questions. How about you? You good?
I think I asked all
I'm
the
good.
ones.
I mean, I would love to talk to you all day, but
Exactly.
I'm good on questions. I know your time is precious.
No, and Achara, I'm really sorry you cried so horribly in the finale. permanent
It
roommates.
was
It
so
really broke.
emotional. I was
Yeah.
so gutted. I was
Yeah.
like, why? Why would you kill the baby? Oh, one more question actually. All the fans are wondering.
You just ruined it for him.
No, don't
Dude.
tell me
Oh, sorry. It's
anything.
fine.
Just
Just
go ahead, go
don't
ahead, go ahead, go
listen.
ahead. Go ahead and
Don't
answer your
listen.
question.
No,
Well, I'm gonna watch it anyway.
No.
Go on and ask your question.
But everyone's wondering when the next seasons of Permanent Roommates and Pictures.
So pictures, I think that we'll start in a couple of months. We'll start writing in a couple of months. So I think around mid next year it should be out. And once that's out, then I think early 2018 is somewhere we can probably expect permanent roommates. But yeah, so it takes a lot of time. I'm sure you guys are aware of it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
just it's a real pain to just write those 300, 400 pages and then start to.
Wow, yeah.
I have a question.
There's a
Is
lot of
Netflix talking to you? Because they have Indian films galore on Netflix, and they need to be talking to you about a show.
I think they have, and
What can we do to
I
help?
I think they already have, and I think there are some talks going on. But I think right now our focus is on TV Play and making that work.
Uh-huh.
So that is where we are uploading most of our content.
That's 100% theirs. You understand?
Yes.
Like Netflix takes a piece, but TVF plays theirs.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I mean, just
my personal experience of working with people outside of TVF, at least in India, but I haven't worked outside of India, but has not been that good. And of course, the people here, even in the most advanced companies, are from the same background. They have, when they employ people, when companies come over here, when US companies come over here, they employ people from Indian television only.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I don't know how comfortable we'll be that ways, but yeah, I think what we have right now is something very precious to us, and we want to hold on to that. And
Good.
as you should. Yeah, you should definitely protect it because you have a strong voice in what you do, and it's beautiful.
You let me know, man. You let me know when to fly to India. I'm there. I'm shooting with you.
Me,
I'll
me too. I'm going with him. I'm going with
We'll all
him.
come.
We'll all come.
figure out ways if there is like possibly somebody who's typing from the US. There is a character like that. That will be something to start off with. I'll just think of something if that pops in. We'll definitely let you guys know.
All right.
And of course, I have to say thank you guys for just watching the entire thing and reacting. So, as when I used to do a little bit of theater in college, so what I used to do, because I've seen the play 100 times, so I used to sit on the stairs and I used to look at the audience, and I that was the direct feedback. That was like the audience giving me notes, and your reactions have been such amazing notes on just seeing what works and what doesn't work. Like I can see you guys are talking, so I know no, this is an important scene. Just
Oh,
then I know okay. So when I revisit it, I think okay, so probably I could have done something better. So that's great feedback as a creator. So thank you guys for reacting to all the stuff. And
I have one
Anytime.
more question if you can answer for me.
Before you ask that, can you hit pause and
Okay,
record on
pause.
that?
My question is, how do you decipher when to use native tongue versus English? Because I know it goes back and forth, and I just want to know what makes you decide when to go into English and when to go into native tongue.
I think that's one of the unique things which this generation is facing. Like a lot of our language is corrupted, so we don't speak Hindi. So we speak a Hindi which mixed with English words, which is something very unique to this generation. A lot of people would say that the Hindi language is ruined. I wouldn't say that because 50 years back Urdu came and then Urdu and Hindi mixed and then something new formed, which is the modern Hindi that we know. So I don't think languages mixing is a bad thing. The idea is, a lot of times the impact of an English statement cannot match the impact of a Hindi statement. And at the same time, a joke which is told in Hindi might work better than a joke which is told in English. So it's a very case to case analysis, and what is just pure instinct. And as a you develop, and then of course you talk to people, and you figure out, oh, okay, while you're narrating, you realize, okay, I can just scrap 3 words here and probably I can do this entire sentence in Hindi in just 2 English words and that works. So somehow that's a good tool you have because right now I feel I'm not well versed with both of them, but I think I have two languages to fiddle around with. So you an additional advantage as a dialogue writer. I think that really helps.
Well, cool.
Okay,
I really appreciate your time, man. Thank you so much for.
Thank you so much for doing this. I love doing this, and again, seeing you guys in the same setup, I feel like you're reacting to me. So.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, we are. We're recording it.
We are, yes.
But thank you again, man. And yeah, like anytime you want us to come out there, like Achara and I and Chuck can come out to India.
Yes.
Whatever.
Definitely. I'll keep that in mind. I'll definitely keep that in mind.
All right.
Yep.
Let you know well.
Well, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Check out other reactions.
Just kidding.
I was one of the first guys to do that.
We'll follow you on Facebook. We'll follow you.
50,000 subscribers, so I was one of the first early 50,000 subscribers.
Oh wow, you've been here for a while. Okay.
Yes. We'll follow behind you and figure out where you are too.
All right. Thanks so much, man. We're gonna finish watching pictures now.
So
Awesome. I hope you guys like it.
I'm so excited.
Thank you.
So,
All right.
thank
You have an awesome day, man, and thank you again.
Thank you.
See you. Take care.
Dude,
That was good.
that was awesome.
Yes.
That was so
He's
good.
a real life celebrity.
I know, right? That was so good. I said I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I was like, yes.
I was getting a little bit stressed out because his audio wasn't the best. So I was like, what's he saying?
Just let it go. Just let it go.
Yeah.
Just let it go. Let it go. Just let it go. It's fine.
I hope I asked some of the good questions.
You did ask some of the good questions.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your questions, guys. It really
Yeah,
helped.
y'all nailed it.
Yeah. So, what now, Jaby?
I'm sorry. He's texting me back and forth. So I'm like, all right, you guys. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. Hopefully you stayed to the end. If you did, the passcode in the comments is Chuck is definitely a KOAY and Achara should be too.
Wow, that's a long code.
That's
I love
really
it.
long.
Thank you.
So, once again, check out the short films in the playlist in the description below. Follow Chuck and Achara on the social media. Check out other reactions,
here
reviews,
somewhere.
and video game related videos. I am JABY KOAY. This is
Chuck KOAY.
Achara KIRK!
Peace out.